Is there a way to decrease your monthly expenses while upgrading to a bigger house? I'll show you a cool strategy coming up. Hi everyone, Chris Egan, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. I wanted to tell you about a cool strategy that people are using this year to help pay off some of their consumer debt while upgrading their house at the same time. Somebody that has purchased their home maybe 5 to 10 years ago and that was their starter home, they may be in a unique position now to upgrade to that bigger, larger home, and while at the same time decreasing some of their expenses. Many people that are in that situation have seen quite a bit of appreciation in their current home. So they may be able to sell it for drastically more than what they purchased it for. And with the years of pay down on their principal, they might have quite a bit of equity in that property. So what some people are doing with today's low interest rates is they are selling their current home and then upgrading to the bigger home. And while they're doing that, they're taking the proceeds from that first sale, paying off some consumer debt, and still having enough left over to put a down payment on the bigger home. And the net effect of that is that they decrease some of their monthly expenses. So here's an example of a client I recently worked with that did this exact strategy. So they purchased their home back in 2013 for $150,000. At the time, they did just a 3.5% down FHA mortgage. Their current mortgage balance on that property, they haven't refinanced or done anything, is currently sitting at $117,000. The value of that home that they purchased for $150,000 today is worth $225,000. That's what we sold it for. They also had a car loan with a balance of $18,000 at 5.5% interest with a car payment of $485, plus a student loan with a balance of $8,000 at 4.5% interest at $212 a month. So when we add up all their current expenses, now this is principal and interest, I'm excluding taxes and insurance, we'll set that aside for now, but their principal and interest payment plus their car payment and their student loan payment, that totaled up to $1,388 a month. Now they had a growing family, so they wanted a bigger home. So we were looking at homes in the price point of about $250,000 to $300,000. So not a huge upgrade from what they had, but they just needed a little bit more space. They ended up finding a home for $275,000. They were able to purchase that new home with a 20% down conventional mortgage at 2.75% interest. So total out of pocket, it cost them down payment plus closing cost about $60,000 to get into that home. Now, if we jump back to their previous home for a second, they sold it for $225,000. They had a mortgage balance of $117,000. So when it was all said and done, they cleared $92,000 on the sale of their home. Then they needed $60,000 for the new bigger home. So they used $60,000 plus additional $26,000 for a total of $86,000 for the down payment, closing costs, car loan, and student loan, clearing those all. Still had $6,000 left over after clearing those debts. Now, let's look at their monthly cash flow before and after. So their current before, when you included the principal and interest, plus the student loan and the car payment, that was $1,388 a month. Now, their new payment on the house alone, because they eliminated the car and the student loan, is $898 a month. They're saving about $400 a month, and they're in a bigger home. Now, if we look at it objectively, they did take out a bigger mortgage than they otherwise would have, holding back some of those proceeds to pay off the student loan and the car loan, but it does affect their monthly cash flow quite a bit. So they're able to get into a bigger home and clear some of their debts at the same time. The strategy can work really well for somebody that's been struggling to pay some of those things off. Obviously, you wouldn't want to do it on a big credit card balance and then go back out and charge those credit cards again. That would defeat the purpose. But if it's something like a long-term installment debt that you can wipe out in one fell swoop, it might be something to look at. So like I said, this strategy may not be for everyone, but for certain people in certain circumstances, it might work well. And of course, I'm a real estate agent, not a tax guy or an attorney or anything like that. So check with those people for good financial advice. This is just an idea. Thanks for checking out another video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.